Director, all the young people of our province, the sons and the daughters of the soil, we gather here today not merely to remember, but to awaken ourselves. We stand on the ground once shaken by the footsteps of brave young people who refused to kneel before injustice. In June 1976, 50 years ago, they became the thunder before the rain. They were the fire in the winter of apartheid. They were the crack in the wall that made freedom possible. They did not only protest against Afrikaans as a medium of instruction, they rose against a system that sought to shrink black minds, the system that silenced the black voices, the system that buried a black identity. They said with one voice and one heartbeat that the black child will not remain at the margins of history. They insisted on dignity. They insisted on self-worth. They insisted on their future. Those young people had no luxury of the freedoms we enjoy today. They had no access to the facilities we have today. They had no opportunities. They had no mobility and the platforms that are available to you. Yet they carried the vision like a torch in the dark. They built self-help projects. They built community projects and networks of international solidarity. They turned their pain into purpose. They turned their oppression into organization. They affirmed blackness not as a burden, but as a badge of honor. They stood tall in a storm. And because they did, we now walk under the sky of democracy. 32 years into democracy, it is no longer as easy as it was to shout black power and have the nation immediately resonate. Not because the call has lost its truth, but because the battle has changed form. The demands are different, and the global politics have changed drastically. Today, our struggle is not against the visible chain of apartheid. It is against the silent prison of unemployment, the prison of poverty, and the prison of hopelessness, and also exclusion. The enemy is not only the law of segregation, but the despair that tells a young person to sit down when they are born instead of rise. That is why our government in Limpopo has placed young people at the center of development. We know for a fact that the future cannot be built by watching from the fence. It is built by putting tools in the hands of young people, by opening gates that were once closed, and by creating pathways where there were once walls. So I must be clear that as the provincial government, we are investing in skills development. Hilaba kubona ba akati ngofu ngwina batswa mikuma mitiro, because the skills are key. The skills will open your doors. The keys will unlock your livelihoods. It will turn your talent into income. It will turn your aspiration into action. So our different programs, as you have heard the mayor sharing some of them, you have heard the NYDA also sharing some of them. Young people are being trained as we speak to become artisans. Young people are being trained to become technicians. They are being trained to become entrepreneurs and also innovators. We are not only preparing you to look for jobs, we are preparing you to create jobs. Young people, you must understand today that you are not going to school so that you can only go and apply for a job. We want you to go to school so that you can come back and be innovative and be industrialist and create jobs for fellow young people. We are committed that we want to strengthen the youth-owned enterprises because economic freedom must be more than a slogan. When you talk to young people and you keep on saying economic freedom in our lifetime, that is just a populist statement, but it must be accompanied by what is it that we are doing to make sure that young people, you then realize the economic freedom during your lifetime. It must have roots in the soil of Limpopo. Through the Limpopo Youth Fund, we have supported the youth-led businesses that are growing local economies and proving that young people are not a problem to be managed, but a force to be unleashed. I was saying earlier on when we were in the briefing that when you turn 50, Comrade Boko, when you turn 50, you look back, now I've turned 50, you can't maybe take it from me. You look back to say, what is it that I've achieved? Malembela ya 50, niende yini abutomini bya mina. Mingwaga 50 kidirile ingi kabuphilo baka. I can tell you, the 1976 generation, when they were 18, in 1994, they delivered the freedom that me and you enjoys today. It means they had something to celebrate because they saw victory during their lifetime. For the first time, blacks and whites were able to vote, not because you are white, not because you are black, but just to be a South African citizen with a barcoded ID. That is an achievement which you must never take for granted. People were killed in 1976 to make sure you go and register and be able to vote. After voting in 1994, the question is, what then happened between 1994, which is 32 years, until today? You are now looking at when I turned 18 in 1994, what then happened when 32 years later, when I turned 50? The question is, yes, we have had progress that we have made. We have seen a lot of development that is happening. Schools were open, universities were open, TEFSAS, which later became NEPSAS, became available for a child of a domestic worker to become a medical doctor, for a child of a farm worker to become a mine bosses. We have seen those progress happening. But the question is, those graduates who are here today, those daughters of farm workers who are doctors, why are they unemployed today? What is the point of going to school so that I come home and look for a job when I'm told there is no work? It is very painful when you sit down and listen to young people. But I stayed in Madimbo. Madimbo, it's just on the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe. Every day, I carry my CV I started with Tupulukwan to deliver my CV in all departments and also in all firms and factories that are in Polokwane. With the 350 grant that I'm given by government. And guess what? I don't get any single job. Why can't I just use my 350 to buy bread, to buy my underwears? That is the stories that the young people of this country tell us every day. No wonder the Youth League of the African National Congress has told us that we must declare unemployment a crisis and a disaster so that all of us can wake up and start to see the reality, to say having a lot of unemployed young people, it's not going to take us anywhere as a country. And I must tell you, Comrade Faith and Comrade Boko and all the young people of Limpopo who have heard your call, and all these MECs were told that in whatever you do, in whatever budget vote you present, if it doesn't talk about the crisis of unemployment, about young people, the legislature must not pass that budget. We are very clear, program director, because we are saying without relevant skills, we are not going to get jobs. That is why we made a commitment, and we want to pronounce here and now, so that MEC Madibe, I didn't see him here, but I know he's listening because he sent an apology. There is a burial somewhere. We are saying to him, together with MEC for Education, Sikukune Mining and Mineral Beneficiation Academy, come January the 1st, when MEC Mabungu pronounced the results, they should be able to tell me that when are we taking the first group of those students who are going to be trained on the mining skills. That is the directive. I am not going to apologize. If that is not being delivered, let's start to look for other deployments. Because if we don't win on that, we are not going to win on the creating of jobs for young people. So we are expecting that academy to function. They've told me Urdi Khere has not yet built that academy. We don't need a new building. The problem with us is that when we are supposed to implement, we always come with excuse. It will never happen. To build an academy might take you 5 years. So it means Temeyaka Yafela after 3 years. But Limpopo won't be voting for me. So if we want to have an academy and say we will wait for the new building. Hey, when we were in health, MEC Machiro, we established a medical school without a hospital, without a new building. We used the very same old University of Limpopo. The students went, they are trained. Today they are doctors. They are working, they are treating patients. The hospital, it's only at 52% completion. But we are going to do that, and this is one area, MEC Mabungu Ramakani, that I will not back down. And I'm not going to accept any excuse. Like we did with the TUT Giyani campus. Because we keep on saying, we can't keep on saying, no, we need this. Executive Mayor Pule, there is a problem where, and Mayor Tandi Zita, there are problems. We have resolved. The first group of students is there. Next year, there will be another group of students here in Giyani. They were telling us excuses. We said it must happen in Limpopo. It is happening. All these children, when they pass grade 12, where are they going to go if we don't establish all this academy? Plus more Limpopo. Bana ba Limpopo ba rata skolo. MEC. Bana ba skolo ba pass. Ba Limpopo ba pass ka bontsi. Bana ba Limpopo hari ngwala grade 12. More than 101,000, 110,000 MEC Ramakani have written grade 12. How can you Western Cape? Maunali University every corner. Ungwala fella 65,000. So can you compare? Krabana lintongwele ngweko Western Cape maraskolo abatse. Mo Limpopo Arnadi University maraskolo re atsena. Therefore, that is why we want to build universities for you. Honorable MP Musa Chabani, I will continue to irritate you in national government. Irritate until you hit my call and build. Every time when you switch on, when I'm talking, I'll be reminding you, Banaba Limpopo Skolo ba tsena, Banyaka the university until they were fat on. Banaba Limpopo Banyaka motivate colleges. The Lemana campus that was shut down and has been left to dilapidate, we want it to be revamped, to be another skill training for academy. I will make noise until you open. But Valimpopo very voted for us to speak on their behalf, and we will do that. When you have education moving closer to our people, we are complaining. I was talking to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Venda to say, if you look at the Council for Mining, for Council for the Built Environment, Ms. Rachwen, you will see that majority of those people come from Limpopo. And where did they study? They studied vets, UCT, everywhere. Because if you want to see quality math and science results, you'll find them in Limpopo. Let's go number 7, number 8, our pass is a quality pass. Maths and physical science. If you are Wahana, I still repeat here, in this very same municipality, that is where the first black Reserve Bank governor was produced. Tatanam Titombo Wayne. All along Bailey Mahua, Ritomilobana Musutu Kayen. May his soul rest in peace. Una ahuma kwala. It don't this working man, Ukungarma teacher Yaku Huma kwala. Seba naba inabatiba kuslaya. Nana Munka, lo you are statistician general. Malulek. Ishitibela quick kuslaya 1+1. It don't this way, my teacher Limpopo kuri 1+1 is 2, not 11. Kumbeshan look anga Limpopo, she would not be a statistician general. I always remind him that. Even today, the Reserve Bank governor, the second black, we only had 2 black. The second Kilisinya from Kuakai, Kua Mulech. Ocho Kua Mulech. So we must not make a mistake. We are forced to go and study outside. I was forced to study medicine in Gauteng because there was no medical school in Limpopo. Therefore, I established, when I became the MEC, I established the medical school. So those who say when she gets power, she forgot where she's coming from, they are lying to you. When we get power, we must take back to our people. So that is why the University of Venda, the Vice Chancellor has been given a task to say, Rinyaka Ubona Civil Engineering School, Kakwa University of Venda, Banababo Rena Batsene Kwa, Bapas. Christian medicine kamo UN, Rishiche, civil engineering. The university must have all the faculties, and that we can do in terms of the skills. But we are also saying, as government, when you want to honor the legacy of the 1976, let's have practical programs. Like the mayor was saying to us, Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, they have committed to me that they are putting 50 million towards sports, arts, heritage, and library infrastructure. They are saying 15 million. It's going to be directed towards a sport high performance center that will be able to create 1,200 jobs. And I want to see those 1,200 jobs. 18 million towards the operationalization of the provincial state theater, which will create 2,000 job opportunities. Limpopo has got talent. What I like about our talent here, starting from Master KG, Kim Munada, now we see the newer generation. They sing in our own language. Baba, Kilobedu, Kibonilim speaker, Abina, a celebrator, because they are making sure that they preserve our languages. You will see them, whether you speak about Momakadzi, you speak about any young artist in our province, they speak in our own languages. Either they speak in Chitonga, they speak in Chivenda, and they sing also Kilobedu, they sing in Sepedi. So we need to have that theater which will be able to nurture the talent amongst our young people, especially the creative industry. We are also looking at the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, where we said they must support the youth-owned farm enterprises. They must look at the irrigation schemes, the poultry projections, wherein already they've created 53 permanent jobs and 275 seasonal jobs. Social development has already started their program for you to access internship and learnership for the expanded public works program. I must announce it. You must listen carefully on this announcement from the Department of Transport and Community Safety. We are saying you must go and look into our website. Young people who are unemployed, 400 young people will be recruited in this year into young civilians on patrol program. Current, you must watch the space, check on our website so that you are not missed or you don't miss this opportunity. We are also saying 200 young people will be recruited as traffic officer learnership. Mbanana Mate, we told you that the learnership traffic officer has been we have dropped in that program. Now we are bringing it back. Education is also focusing on robotics and coding. Young people, let's go and be reskilled so that we can get these jobs. Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, they are saying they've already employed 590 people. Of those, they had made sure that 350, it's young people. And they are still going to be appointing another group of young people this coming financial year. They are saying 143 vacant posts have been approved and 238 by end of July. If you didn't apply or you are not listening, you will miss this. Because by end of July, Department of Public Works, they promising me that 238 employees will be hired and 143 vacant posts will be also before the end of the year. So all these opportunities, it's something that young people take to them. Take this opportunity and make sure that you are not left behind, because unemployment remains a painful wound. But I want to also say to the youth of Limpopo, do not let unemployment become your identity. You are more than statistics. You are more than waiting rooms. You are rivers that have not yet found their valley. You are seeds that have not yet broken the soil. You are the sunrise behind a long night. So we commemorate this 50 years since this historic uprising. Let us remember that the young people of 1976 were very resilient. Therefore, we should also be the same. We should have and be resilient like them so that we must be able to get employment. As the Premier's office, you would remember we have already facilitated opportunity for young people. Not so long ago, we bid farewell to 12 young people from our province. They are now in China, in fields of engineering, in fields of new energy technology. They have become ambassadors, and when they return here, they will have valuable knowledge and expertise that will contribute to the growth and modernization of our province. So we are saying to young people, please make use of these opportunities. Do not take this for granted. You must make sure that you do take care of these opportunities and use them to your benefit. As a province, The last project that I want to share with you is that we are going to be focusing as the Office of the Premier through entrepreneurship. We want innovators. We want you young people, especially young women, especially young people with disability, so that you can join us on our sustainable livelihood initiatives. This program, it's going to be able to invest on the project that will create sustainable employment, that will stimulate local economic growth and unlock the full potential of yourselves as young people. Today, the advert is going to be out. You must look at that advert. Whether you are a young person with innovation in agriculture, whether it's in ICT, whether it's in any sector, construction, bring that idea. We have already appointed a team that will be analyzing, working with those sector departments so that you can be able to get jobs. But I'm also saying to our government officials who are here listening and watching, these programs are meant for the young people of Limpopo. They are not meant for those who have connection to those of us who are in power. They are not meant for Banababo Ramathuba. They are not meant for Banabadi MEC, for Banabadi Director General. They are meant for the young people of Limpopo. We must bring public confidence into our government by making sure that when we create all these programs, they are directed to those who are supposed to benefit. And these are the young people of Limpopo. Let's do it for the 1976 generation. Let's do it for those who die. Let's do it for Hector Peterson. Let's do it for Peter Mukaba. Let's do it for the 1976 generation. May the courage of the June 16 continue to light our path. May their sacrifices inspire us to work harder, to dream bigger, and serve our people with greater commitment. And may Youth Day 2026 mark not only a celebration of our past, but the beginning of a renewed journey towards a prosperous, inclusive, and hopeful future. To the young people of Limpopo, I say, inherit that courage of 1976, but also the discipline for the future. Be restless for justice. Be anchored in integrity. Be bold in your dreams, but responsible in your conduct. Build companies. Young people build farms. Young people build technologies. Build communities. Young people, most importantly, build each other. Don't pull each other down. Don't be jealous. Today is the 10 year faith. Tomorrow it will be Boko's 10. It can't be all of you together. Even as we go to local government elections, you will get your representation. You have seen that we are a government that takes care of the young. The newly appointed 3 mayors, the executive mayor of Bembe district, the local mayor of Lipalale, and your mayor are the products not so long ago graduates of the ANC Youth League. And I can tell you, we have given them that machine, Boko. They are not playing with that machinery. They are crisscrossing their wards. They are working very hard. As a premier of the province, every time when I switch off my phone, I see them not taking pictures, being celebrities, but I see them opening taps of water, fixing potholes, fixing the sanitation, fixing the sewage. That's what we want to see. We give you the responsibility as a young person. You can't be tired the first day at work. So we will. They're representing you well. We will accommodate you, young people. When you are given that responsibility, don't start by buying your Gucci. Don't start by buying you Louis Vuitton. Buy an overall and go and work for the people. A Gucci and a Louis Vuitton will not deliver services of our people. You must only have two attire. It's your overall to deliver services and one suit to attend the state of the municipal address. If you do that, you will see your people will love you. If you buy two pieces, unfortunately, you won't have time to wear them because your time must be on the ground, because you are saving these young people. You are saving the future generation of our people. The freedom our forebears fought for is not a museum piece. It is a living flame. It burns in your hands now. Guard it, grow it, use it to light the path for others. Long live the spirit of June 16, long live. Long live the young people of Limpopo, long live. Long live the spirit of June 16, long live.